today we're shooting a wedding, and it's just a photo wedding. Savannah's the first shooter, I'm the second shooter, and I figured I would take you through today on what it's actually like to shoot a wedding in Nashville. I'm gonna try to do it as practically and as realistic as I can, and just be completely honest with you. Alright, so for weddings, typically what I'll do, since I'm only the second shooter, Savannah, the first shooter, is going to be on a 28-70. It's the really big Canon lens. And because of that, I want to get, as the second shooter, my job is to get something different, be more creative, basically get pictures that don't look like Savannah could have shot. And we do have this 16-35 lens, and I'll use this if I have to like take pictures of groomsmen or something else while Savannah is doing, while Savannah is taking pictures somewhere else. This is basically if Savannah needs to be in two places at once, then this is the lens that I'm going to reach for. But the rest of the time I'm going to be shooting on this 70-200, and like I said before, it's to get a different angle, to get a different look, and this lens looks completely different than Savannah's lens. And the camera is going to be just the Canon R6 Mark I. We need to get these replaced or serviced. They're old and they've been used a lot. One of these, actually, the hot shoe is coming loose, so the flash actually doesn't work, which is why I'm not bringing a flash to this wedding. And another nice thing about shooting photos instead of video is the gear, just because the gear is a lot, you don't need as much gear when you are shooting photo weddings. I can actually take my smaller bag, which is a bag made by a company called Brevity, and it literally is just going to fit everything that I need, instead of taking my big Peter McKinnon bag, which I love, but it's just kind of overkill for a wedding that I'm shooting photos at. Okay, now I'm going to pack this up, actually, and then we have to get out of here to get to the wedding. Our start time's at 1. This wedding has a couple of different locations. The first one is where we're currently at. It's basically just a hotel. They're getting ready in a hotel. Well, bride and groom are getting ready in separate locations. This is where the bride is getting ready. Savannah and I are going in to just check in with the bride and everything else, and then I will probably end up going to the guys on my own, just to be efficient with our time. Something I don't think you realize until you actually start shooting weddings is just how many different types of photography there actually are. It can range from everything from product photography to obviously portrait photography, even live action types of photography. There are multiple different types that you have to get good at and learn how to do within a given wedding day. And typically whenever we start a day, it always starts the same most of the time. And that is going to be taking product photography of detail shots of the ring, the bouquet, shoes, stuff like that. And that's mostly just to get that stuff out of the way, because in the middle of a wedding day it can be kind of hectic. Right after that we go into the getting ready kind of things, naturally, because typically when you're done with the product stuff, it times out nicely to where they're done with their makeup or whatever they're doing, and they're ready to start getting dressed for the day. And that's where if you have a location change, that's typically, today is typically going to be where that's going to be done. Sometimes we just have 2 locations, sometimes we even have 3, and sometimes it's all on the same kind of venue. It's like a little compound where you can get ready, get married, and dance all at the same place. All that being said, we just finished the getting ready photos, and now we're going to actually move into the next section of the day where the bride and groom actually meet. One thing that I like to do when I'm taking photos, just to make sure that I'm getting like different angles, is to make sure that when I take one picture, like if I'm like shooting something on the left side of the subject, then I'll go over to the right and shoot a similar picture of the subject. And the reason I do that is sometimes the background 3 steps to the right or to the left looks a lot better than what you were currently getting, and that just ensures that I am moving around the subject and getting a couple of different angles, because I think a lot of times, especially when you're pressed for time, it's really easy to just get the same picture and stand in the same place and get a bunch of the same looking pictures. So this is the second location. They just did their first look for obvious reasons. Now after this, we're gonna go to the venue. The plan is to do bridal party here. But we could switch it to the venue. It's only the wedding party is really small, so that allows us that gives us some flexibility. Now we just finished photos with the entire bridal party, which is like 4 people. So now we're going to actually go to the venue. Savannah is walking back with me, and we're walking to our car to go to the venue. This whole thing is like within like a 3-mile radius, so it may seem like we're driving a lot, but we're really not. It's all relatively close. We just are honestly taking our car just so that it's at our final destination, which is the venue. Little change of plans. This never actually happens in weddings, but it's happening right now. I actually had a package that was delivered that I've been waiting for a while. And since, and this never happens, but since we have 45 minutes till the ceremony, and the only thing we have left to do is take family photos, which as a second shooter, I'm not going to do. And our apartment is literally I think it's like 2 minutes away. I'm actually leaving the wedding temporarily to go get said package, and then coming right back. All right. Just a really quick, getting really quick. I'm hoping that it's in this mailroom and it's not on the one on the 3rd floor, because that's really gonna cut into. Yes, got it. All right, this is going to be a quick down and dirty little unboxing in the car. So the reason I got this was because it's actually for this Pocket 3. But what it is it's basically a small itty bitty tripod, because the one that comes with it's fine, but this is actually much bigger. So basically what it is it's a base mounting plate, and then a little tripod that goes with it. Again, this has nothing to do, well, I guess it kind of has something to do with this video, but here's the base plate right here. Ooh, and it's all metally too. This tripod was the thing that was the reason I bought this, actually. Because look at this. See these little feet? So when I sit it down on something, the feet just naturally spread out. So like, you get pushed down. It's very, very cool. All right, back to the wedding. All the family photos are done. Now we're just waiting for the wedding to start. It's supposed to start at 4:30, and it's currently 4:32. I told you these things never start on time. I like this tripod thing though. You're literally just sitting. I'll show you what it looks like later, but I think it's I like it. just finished the ceremony, and then most of the time you go into family photos, which is what we just did. And now, right after family photos, it's technically cocktail hour still, meaning that we have an hour, so we're taking advantage of that, and we're gonna get some sunset photos now. If I had to sum up shooting weddings in one word, it's going to be time efficiency. Also, this little venue, I'm pretty sure it's a car museum downtown. I've actually never been down here. Lived in Nashville for 4 years, and look at this. These are a bunch of old cars, and I'm pretty sure it's just a museum for these old cars. That I've really learned, and I think a lot of people learn when you first start shooting weddings or doing any kind of live event, because that's pretty much what a wedding is. Pretty much you're shooting a live event that lasts for like 8 to 10 hours. But I think the biggest thing that I learned, or you learn, is how to catch curveballs and how to bounce back from those quickly. Either the schedule gets off, or your camera stops working, or you don't have enough time to do something because it's taking longer than expected. You have to find ways to. All being said, the wedding's going good. We currently have we currently have 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Yeah, it's 6:28, and we're done at 8. It's technically an hour and 32 minutes, but it's going great. We're eating dinner now. I have no idea what this is, but it tastes. It's like a 6 out of 10. I was headed back up to the wedding, and I came across this hallway. Look at what's in this bathroom. I checked, it's not a bidet, it's 2 toilets sitting next to it. Since I mentioned the tripod, I figured I would show you what it actually looks like. This is what the tripod looks like. It's just this little piece right there. And like I said, when you sit it down on like tables or anything else like that, all the feet spread out, and it's really convenient. We have a little bit of extra time, so I figured right now I would take the opportunity to kind of explain to you a brief overview on how we price our weddings, just generally. Typically with our weddings, it comes in 3 different packages: a 6-hour, a 8-hour, and a 10-hour. Typically we try not to go over 12 hours or over 10 hours, because 12 hours, it's just, it's kind of unnecessary unless it's like a special circumstance. I think we've shot technically one 12-hour wedding this year, and the rest are like 8 to 10 is typically the average. Today's is 7, so it's a little bit of an anomaly, but most of the time it falls into those 2 categories, if not the third one when they want to really short. With that, we also we offer photo and video. Now typically whenever it's photo or video, it's going to be Savannah and I doing, if it's for photo, then it's going to be Savannah and I first and second shooting, and if it's for video, she will first shoot or be the lead shoot for photo, and I'll be the lead shooter for video, and we'll hire 2 different people to fill those second shooter roles. If somebody does want to go over on their hours and they choose like the day of, then typically, again, this kind of depends, but typically on an average, if they want both of us to stay, which if we're both shooting in it, then both of us have to stay because there's one car, and it's going to be around $400 per hour of additional coverage. That $400 is obviously inflated because it's last minute and it's the day of. If they're trying to go for the wedding packages and stuff like that, we always recommend to go higher than you think that you would need, unless it seems like you're going to have a bunch of time where we're just sitting around. That way you don't have to pay that $400 upcharge. I hope that made sense. We try to keep it as simple as we can, mostly because Savannah and I just don't want to do a bunch of math, and we want to keep it as easy to understand and streamlined for the customer as possible, so it's not so overwhelming. 8:09, and we're done. That's pretty much how like a wedding goes for us. Again, they're all a little bit different, but that had like a lot of like there's a lot of core pieces that are fairly consistent. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.